Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another walk and talk where we are going to be discussing cryptocurrency and specifically the price movements of Bitcoin and where I think the markets are generally heading. I'm going for a little bit of different scenery today, so I do enjoy a little bit of the English countryside. So let's talk Bitcoin, right? I put a video out this morning and just talking through some of the recent movements when it came to BTC, and there was lots of discussion over in the Discord server around whether or not Bitcoin is following the Wyckoff distribution pattern. And well, I put that video together with very much an open-minded kind of position on it. I wanted to kind of plot my way through and see whether or not, whether or not Bitcoin is in fact following the idea of a Wyckoff distribution pattern. And well, if you haven't yet checked the video out, spoiler alert, I don't think it is. You can check the video out in more detail if you want. I'll try to link it into one of the cards on the video here. Now, the Bitcoin Wyckoff distribution pattern, there's actually two patterns in the same way that there are for the accumulation. There's also two patterns for the distribution. Now, Bitcoin and the idea of a Wyckoff distribution is a very bearish one. Okay, so with Bitcoin pushing up the way that it has done, it has kind of fueled the idea that, potentially we are likely to see further downside. And volume profiles are very, very low as well when it comes to BTC. So it's hard to think that maybe we are, in a strong position when it comes to Bitcoin. So I want to be aware that things not necessarily as good as you kind of want them to be. And so the idea of the Wyckoff pattern simply is a very bearish one. It kind of plots out the idea that you are going down into new bear market low points when it comes to BTC. However, when you actually try to apply the logic of the Wyckoff distribution model, it doesn't really fit. It's not really a good fit for the Bitcoin price chart at the moment. That's not to say that we can't be bearish if we want to be. It's just it has to be a different structure, a different pattern that plays out. So I do urge you guys to check that video out if you haven't done so already. Now, Bitcoin has pushed up quite nicely. We have seen the push past $35,000, and that's a great positive kind of move for Bitcoin, right? And I still expect a bit more to the upside over the kind of next couple of days or so. So I'm still expecting, maybe Bitcoin can push towards kind of 37, 38, possibly even $40,000. But after that, ultimately, the reality is we have to have a correction to the downside. And the correction to the downside doesn't have to be a super bearish one, but it does have to be a decent correction that sees profits get taken, and we have to see a want and a willingness of institutional investors to want to buy. Which, if we follow the on-chain analytics, we note that a lot of institutional level investors have actually been coming out of their Bitcoin positions for well over a year. Things have just about turned though, and we are starting to see retail investors take profits, and obviously institutional investors soak up some of that supply. So these are great things, but we have to see that on a much bigger scale than we currently are if we want to kind of start to see a bullish market, at least in my opinion. So why do I tell you these things? I'm telling you these things because I think there's going to be one more big push to the downside over the next few months. This next big push to the downside is, in my opinion, going to be the last opportunity to be purchasing up not only Bitcoin, but many altcoins, which would bleed out very, very heavily in that next pullback. Now, I think we're going to see Bitcoin pull back between 40 and 50%. Okay, a 40 to 50% move in Bitcoin from the price today would put it at around the $20,000 to $21,000. Now, that particular area is also of incredible interest to us. The $20,000 to $21,000 area for Bitcoin happens to be a CME gap. Okay, the CME gaps typically do have a tendency to get filled out when it comes to the price action. And so, for Bitcoin, I think we're going to see that kind of move. 20, 21,000, 40 to 50% reduction in price. That's going to be a huge opportunity for institutional level investors to be soaking up much of that supply. The supply of which I think will be coming from retail investors who are heavily stretched themselves at the moment when it comes to their crypto holdings. Not all, I think we're only going to see 20 to 30% reduction from retail investors, but that's enough supply to fuel the next bullish market when those institutional investors soak it up. So what about altcoins? Well, a 40 to 50% reduction in price for Bitcoin would be catastrophic for many altcoins, which we already know from the current pricing structure that many altcoins really haven't had a fantastic move up in the same way that Bitcoin has. We can also take a look at Bitcoin dominance really getting some momentum, and we can take a look at Total, Total 2 and Total 3 and get a good feel that actually a lot of the money is rolling out of alts into Bitcoin and very few new or very little new money is coming into Bitcoin specifically. This means that if Bitcoin does move down, we should expect a catastrophic move down for many altcoins, which will lead them into new bear market low points. And that is the opportunity, okay? So I've been building, and so has Chris, and many of the other members in Cheeky Crypto's community have been building fantastic dollar cost average portfolios. And I think that's great, and we can continue doing those things. On the next pullback, we have to kind of go really heavy, in my opinion. That's all it is though, just my opinion. Obviously I'm not a financial advisor, so I cannot give financial advice. All I can do is give you my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts as I personally see it. And as I see it, I think we have one last opportunity to really build really great, strong, dollar cost average portfolios in this next pull to the downside. Many altcoins have, of course, touched most recently bear market low points in as early as October, and really not that long ago we saw many of these altcoins reaching these new bear market low points, and we haven't really seen significant growth ever since, and they continue to go down. So for the most part, I think yes, everything that we kind of talk about with our members. By the way guys, if you're not yet signed up, why not check it out, membership.cheekycrypto.io. In the description down below is a link. There is a 7-day free trial, so you can try before you buy, all that kind of good stuff. And there's some great things that we talk about there in terms of areas that I think price is likely to go, where we can build those great life-changing portfolios through dollar cost averaging strategies and all that kind of good stuff. And for the most part, I think many of the target ranges that I've noted are likely to come to fruition. We just have to be patient enough to see them. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Do you think that we're going to see one big pull to the downside? And is that going to be the last opportunity? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you found this useful, informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one though guys, have a fantastic day.